And this is Orland's piece, I guess, O. Johnson. Yeah, one of the problems, he's got some cracking, radial cracking right here because he was too close to the pith.
So you think that's juniper? Some kind of juniper?
Could be juniper, yeah, I have no idea what it is.
It actually could be a Leyland cypress. It came out from under Mary, and I don't remember her name, lives on River Road. Mary Lucas's overhang on her house, where we had a lot of her wood a while back. And I really, it could be.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting grain on it. And the checking's not too bad. As for the shape, you know, I would have done something down here because it looks like it just wants to sit heavy. And I would have, the wall comes straight down and then straight across. I would have tried to have a more of a sweeping curve on the inside. But then again, the shape dictated that you had to do it the way you did, so. Yeah, I probably would have gone for a smaller foot on it, because the foot's pretty dominant. You know, it's more than half the diameter of the piece.
That's fine.
And he has a very delicate foot on here, so it'll just disappear. And I really should have a board, but I don't. But his curve on the bottom goes all the way through, so this thing will look. It's sitting on a flat edge.
He donated some of this wood to the raffle, so there's a number of pieces there.
Yeah, I got out.
Anyway, this will look like it floats.
It looks great. Yeah, I love the wood.
And he's got a nice fair curve all the way around, except for right there where the wood shrunk on him.
Oh, okay.
That's why I had to turn it around to see if you had it. She got a nice curve going. Real nice job. Yeah, nice. It's even got a smiley face. Yeah, he's got a nice curve coming here, and once again he brought it all the way around, which is nice. And the inside feels pretty good. It's a little thick right in there, but
Yeah. It's hard to see. That's ingrained. And
yeah.
I'm used to going the other way, but it's amazing the difference
Yeah.
doing an ingrained piece.
Yeah, it's just there's
Even though it looks like
there's
it's
just
always
a little something right in here when you stick your finger in. You can feel it. There's a ridge. Well, not really a ridge. It's like a little hill, and then it tapers down. And you almost got it. And that's an interesting foot. I don't really care for this kind of a foot, but that, you know,
Goes with that bowl.
goes with the bowl. Yeah, it's not that bad. Really tight. Really hard to cut it right in there, though. So that's a nice piece.
Be careful with this one. I don't know what kind of wood that is.
Looks like cherry to me. This is Leon's, and it's a hard shape to hollow for sure. And this is one of those deals where this biggest diameter is too close to the 50-50 mark. We really needed to be up a little higher, down a little bit lower, I think. And I'm not sure I like it curving back in like this, but it's hard to say. I think this part right here is what's really throwing my eye off. It's too much in the middle, I think. And then once again, he's got this line coming straight down on the table, so it makes it look heavy. But overall, it's really nicely done. Especially that crotch going right through there. Well, I have to get further away. This is it's a nice little box. It's got a rounded bottom and a rounded top, which is nice. If she had one of those box cutting tools, she could have a flat bottom. And she did a good job of matching the grain. And this is a usable box. This is the kind that people will buy because you can take the lid off. Most turners want to show off and have a pop that pops. And when people go to buy it, they don't want to have to fight to get it off. Now this is one of her finials. I was admiring this earlier. This is a really, I don't know how to hold it so you can see it. This is a really nice finial. Really good proportions. And this is the same problem I'm having.
Right there,
I would
that's-
like a little bit
I
more
want a
curve there. And I
graceful
haven't.
curve.
I've been trying that for years. I still haven't gotten one the way I want it. But that little curve right in there, just did a little bit more. This would be like.
That's the flaw
This
with
would be
that
like
piece.
Cindy Drosta quality.
Well, I
It's
copied
hard.
it
It's
from
hard to get there.
one of hers that was the cover of a catalog. And here's all these little.
Oh yeah, we don't want. Yeah, let's go ahead and critique these.
You gotta hold these ones, they're the only ones that aren't.
They're red dots.
I know
We're
they're
not
red.
blue.
Oh yeah, but I'm not. I don't have to critique this.
That's mine, and that one I'm really happy with. I tried to make a real thin one, but it lights on fire too easily. So you really burn away the edges. That one I turned Sunday. It was green on Sunday, and
Now it's black.
now it's black.
So you dried it out by burning it?
With a big propane torch. And I took the shape from one of Raffin's books. He has
It's like a
a
witch's
sort of
book.
natural finish bowl with the sets of grooves on it. And I really liked it. And his was greener, so he got the peaks right across the top, like an arc, like a boat. And this one, when I started burning it, instead of getting long, like the foot on here, you can see the foot on this one is real oval. And it's the way you expect it, right? The grain's going this way. And so it's skinny this way and long that way. That one folded the other way in. The long part of the grain, I mean, I watched it. It moved right in. And then as I burned the rest of it, everything else pulled it back out.
Wow.
It's very dynamic watching these things. I couldn't get the heat to the bottom of the grooves on the outside, so they didn't burn. And if you try and get the bottom burned, you burn away the bead that's around the grooves.
Yeah.
And so Sunday night I was just thinking, how am I going to get those black? I just got a wood stove that somebody gave me, and I just stove blacked it, and there's a bottle of stove black. So that's coated with stove black, which is essentially a polish. It's a wax. And then tung oil on top. And then this is a thin one. I just brought this for show you what happens when you go real thin. It just catches on fire way too fast. It's like stick matches. It's a good time.
Well, you can write a little poem.
It's amazing.
She's got.
Oh,
She's got some more.
Oh,
You got any more?
These are all yours?
no.
Yeah. All right. Well, now I get to critique myself. These didn't have green dots on them, but I'm the critique guy, and I made these. I'm getting ready to teach, working on curriculum for a weekend class I'm going to teach at the folk school first weekend in December on turning miniatures. And I decided it really needs to be a week long because there's so many things I can turn it small. But I had some burl around, and the first thing I did was make a little box for a little goblet. And there's a little box and there's a little bowl there. It was the first thing I did. And I said, man, I need to display those somehow. And I said, I've got all these glue blocks with the leftover burl from my hollow globes. I could turn like tabletops. So I decided to make tabletops. And I wasn't sure how to turn the back of the table, but I figured I ought to put some little beads and globes and things in there and make it look interesting. And then I said, well, now I got to make a stand, and I didn't have a clue as to what to do. The first one I used cherry. And I just put a stick of cherry in there and started turning it, trying to, keep the dimensions to about 1-inch scale for dollhouse furniture. So it's actually got some saleability. And so I turned this cherry base first. And it just didn't look right for some reason. I'm thinking the base is just too big for the top. This edge here is so skinny, and the base just looked too big. That cove was a real beast to get in there. I actually think I cheated and kind of scraped it in and then sanded it the rest of the way. Because all I had was a 1/4-inch spindle gouge, which is really too big to get in there. And then I had some burl, scrap piece of burl around, so I made a little bit better one. Instead of having a cove, I went with a bead, which is much easier to do, and I kind of like the bead better. I made the diameter of the bottom smaller, but I still don't have the scale right. And then as I commented on hers, I really wish that curve right in there was just a little bit more
curvier,
sweeping, but I didn't get it. It's hard to get it, because when you start, the bevel's too big, I think, on the gouge. You might need to go with a 16th-inch bevel.
I like the top of this one with the base of that one.
Yeah.
That's the kind of proportion I want.
Well, part of what happened is the tenons got screwed up, and I had to go with the ones that would fit.
Alan,
Yeah.
my wife has a $20,000 dollhouse with all kinds of exotic furniture.
And I'm not going to say whose people. I guess I will. This is Pruitt's piece. He's a newbie. You're the new guy, and which is good because this is a typical bowl new people will make. They'll go straight down the wall and then shoot over. This is the hardest thing to do, is that little corner right in there. Why beginners want to make their life hard instead of making a nice slope, I don't know. But this is very hard to do, that transition. And you did a good job of it, which is nice, but I still don't like going straight in and across. And I like the way you brought your curve around, that's nice. I really tend to not like to have this curve go like that, because what happens is, that other little curve going to your foot, it makes it look like it's sitting heavy on the table, whereas if you got to have it, well, it doesn't. Well, yeah, this will work. But when you have your curves on your bottom come all the way around, when you put it on a flat surface, watch him drop it and break it. It looks like it's floating. But you might like it to look like it's stable. If it's a utility piece that you're going to use, you probably want it to look good and solid. And then you really want to get abused today, don't you? Yeah, I really like that. You've got a nice fair curve here, which is really nice. And you brought this curve in here. It just came a little bit too quick, a little too tight, and flattens out along in here. But for a beginner, you got this part right, which is great. And the inside, this time you got better. You got a nice rounded inside, so you made your life easier. And you might want to play with getting a different design for a foot, something that looks more elegant and less like it was attached to the lathe, make it less obvious.
Jim,
really nice work.
And turn that foot down flat or a little concave.
Well, maybe not necessarily flat, but
Come back in instead of that
yeah.
slope.
See how he's kind of done a little curve here and done a little detail on his foot, make it look a little interesting. But yeah, really nice work, good sanding job, everything, nice finish. You're on your way. You got a good start. Now, this isn't box elder. This is Buckeye Burl. The box elder is the first word that came in my mind, and I knew it wasn't box elder. And when he made it, he called it Don called it box elder too, and it's Buckeye Burl. But I got to critique it, not worry about the name. And I really like the rim. And the front of it's pretty good. I like the front of it. Of course, he's been hanging around Frank, so he's got that texturing in there, but it does add to it. This was a pretty difficult piece with all this negative space in here. So he did a real good job on that. When I look at it like this and see this profile, you've got to ignore it. It's been moving. So I have to find a spot that really hasn't. And I don't know if I can, I think it might have moved on in. Because I can see how this curve in here is not a fair curve. It's got flats here and there. But it may be because the piece changed shape after he turned it. But when he comes down here, it looks like when he gets right in there, he starts curving this way, which I don't like. I'd rather have that curve once again. Isn't that exciting? I'd rather have that curve look like it's just floating there.
He just painted.
He's crying. I knew I could put somebody to tears.
At least he didn't bother me.
Yeah, you're right. Is this? He's still upset. Man, I like to get people's heart moving. This doesn't have a name, good, so we can't pick it up too much. Is this what kind of wood is
It's
this?
not done yet.
Cherry burl.
Cherry burl? That's cherry? I was
Yeah,
thinking it might be red.
Remember Bo cutting the burrow out of the tree on the way back from lunch?
No.
No. Someone in here noticed.
Yeah.
I heard the
He brought
story.
a burrow back from lunch, and cut it up, and I got a piece of it, and I finally got a chance to turn it.
Yeah, once again, this is a difficult piece with all this voids in here. It was off balance the whole time. I'm thinking, just looking at it right now, I think this curve right here is just too quick and too sharp. But that's my thinking. I could be wrong. Probably am.
Well, I kinda
Do you want more
I
OG?
chose that spot based on the bottom
Yeah.
edge there, where the wood
It
disappears.
just seems like it just comes in and then goes like that and then
Yep,
changes too
yep.
quick to me. But, you know, maybe part of the wood doing that. And there seems to be a little flat right in here. And nice if this curve just come around just a little bit more. But all in all, it's a nice piece. I think the foot's a little too dominant, but that's, you know, once again, that just might be me. But you might have needed it because this is the pith right in here, so
Yeah.
if that foot was any smaller, it might not stay together. So
Right.
sometimes you have to go with what the wood tells you.
So I was concerned that it would come
And once again, this is a burl. Feels like he had a nice curve going in here, but you can feel where the wood has moved since. So you never know what's going to happen. This fresh finish, yeah.
Yeah, that's wax.
Don't want to hurt the other folks' stuff. This looks like DJ Wall's work. It's walnut. And it's got a nice fair curve going on, which is real nice. Being a spindle turner, I would like a definite transition mark here. You know, you have the same kind of thing where it came down curls. I'd rather have a little something to change direction and not have it curl back down into the table. But that's just me. Got a nice, good curve on the inside. Kept a nice even wall thickness. Nice rounded edge. Excellent finish job. It's a pretty nice piece. I like that. And I'm being overly critical because I'm hoping to move you to the next stage and get you to look at your work better. This is that piece I tried to drop earlier. And this is an art piece because with a small foot like this, it kind of dictates it being an art piece. And this is rare curl. This is Chris Bormer's work. And I can't really put it on a flat piece because it'll fall over, but I really like the way the curve comes on down and around. It's got a really nice fair curve. There's a little bit of a flat here, but I don't think that's from him turning. Once again, I think the wood moved after he turned it, but there's a little bit of a flat in here. And it's not consistent all the way around, so the wood did move on it. It's really nice shape. I like that.
What kind of wood?
Koa.
It's KOU. It's a rare wood from Hawaii.
And this is a Reed Jones's piece, and it looks like he's got some sort of texturing going on in here. I'm not sure how he did it. There's little ridges and ripples in there, kind of like the potato chips. It's kind of neat. I like that. And he's got a nice little ribbon in here to separate the two pieces. Yeah, I would have preferred a slight curve in here or something. This is a fairly straight line, which may have been the intent. But he did bring that curve in here a little bit at the bottom, so it does look like it will float, which is nice. Nice piece. This is plastic? Yuck! No. Man, that must have been fun this term. Yeah, that's nice. For plastic, it's pretty nice. And I like there's a little dip in the rim for your thumb to catch.
That's PVC pipe.
PVC pipe grill.
Was that the end cap? Was it an end cap?
No,
No?
it's a big piece.
Big piece.
And this is Bill White's piece. It's got some, looks like turquoise glued in the holes. Got a nice curve coming around, and once again, you brought that curve so it looks like it's floating a bit. And it looks like it was supposed to have a lid. The lid's missing.
The lid's not finished yet,
Okay.
still drying.
Yeah, nice job.